You're watching Teen Talk with Jane Marks.
Family therapist Jane Marks joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Greg. How are you this morning?
Doing fantastic. We got a question this morning, and certainly kind of new endeavors for parents, kind of with their kids just entering teenage land, we'll say. We've got the question popping up here on the screen, but our viewer this week is asking about their two children approaching the age of 14. Want to make sure that they're on top of any potential health dangers they may face, saying, my teens are not impulsive yet, but I suspect it's coming. So what is a parent to do?
It's coming. It is coming.
Prepare.
Yes, prepare for adolescence. It is a challenging time for most parents, and it is important that they remain informed. And so we always start with what we call the critical time, and that is keeping the lines of communication open. Now, parents, always be mindful of alcohol and drug use and abuse. While this is not a new health trend, it is one that parents still need to be wary of. And, you know, so many kids today, Greg, take ADHD medications, and the use and abuse of these medications among high school students and college campuses is something that parents certainly need to bring discussion to.
And also discuss with that you're saying too, because to understand how readily available some of these drugs could be for teens.
Absolutely. Tobacco escalation products. Many teens are convinced that unlike cigarettes, smoking a hookah or chewing tobacco is not going to be problematic or harmful. Make no mistake about it. This includes inhalation products like snorting Smarties. That's what they're doing in the big cities now. Tanorexia, exposure to tanning beds. And also they have these new tanning shots, understanding that teens face the risk of premature aging and skin cancer. Tech use, we've talked about that before. Cyber addiction, tech use at the inappropriate times, tech use at night, tech use while driving. There's continuing communication needs to be done with regards to that. Noise exposure. According to public research, about 12.5% of American teens have measurable noise-induced hearing loss in one or both ears. Exposure to harmful sounds can injure the delicate hair cells in the inner ear. So parents, be mindful of volumes in headsets. Greg, piercing and tattoos. How many teens are we looking at piercing and tattoos? It's amazing. Parents need to weigh in. The bacteria, I've seen it myself. I've seen MRSA happen to a couple of my kids in the practice.
And again, a lot of times, maybe the teen's just trying to cover something up. Maybe they don't want mom and dad to know about, so maybe they get a little risky with it.
Right. Extreme eating habits, which covers everything from obesity to anorexia. This is a time when body image is critical to teenagers. Parents, stay on top of that. It is also important that parents be mindful of school performance. When interviewed, a teenager will say that this is the #1 worry because they are receiving so much feedback from teachers, colleges, parents. Bullying, racial bullying, sexual orientation, weight. These are important issues. Isolations and friendships. You know, for the child who doesn't have at least one friend or buddy to share their experiences and their feelings with, it is important that parents stay on top of that. Stress management. One form of stress management for teens, and you wouldn't think about this as an option for teens, is yoga, some practice where they're able to quiet their minds. A lack of drive and passion in their lives. Most teens need to have that as a part of their experience. When your teenager doesn't have that, parents need to stay on top of that.
And a lot of it really comes back to communication. But of course, you know, it'd be lying if you didn't say teens always aren't the easiest to communicate with. So for those parents who may not have the best relationship right now, how do they get started with at least building that relationship and opening the line of communication? You
know, one of the things that I like for parents to do is to have a time during the day that they make it a part of the fiber of the day. And so even if there's not much response, that the teen will know that at dinner time or right before they go to bed, they're going to have that discussion. And so it's a part of the rhythm of the day. And so teens grow to expect that, and they typically will respond, at least on some level.
Part of the routine. Family therapist Jane Marks, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you on with Teen Talk. And you can find more great advice from Jane here up on our website, WTXL.tv.